call this a useless act. How can a whole country not minding the welfare of their security personnel? Those are the people who are securing the people, even themselves. You give them nothing, you don't pay them, and you expect them to do the needful, even when you try to hold the civil servants. But not even civil servants are not supposed to be held, because they are human beings. They have families that they need to take care of. Everybody deserves the work that they have worked. They deserve their pay after their work. Not to talk of those who are putting their life in front of all these dangers. You don't take care of them. And these are the things Nigerians have been talking about. And yet, the so-called security people, they will think that they want to satisfy their organs at the top, or to satisfy the government. And the government does not even have any iota of honesty or sympathy for them. Now, the military authorities owe us. You can imagine the soldiers are now complaining. They are owing them uniform, boots, allowances. We can't afford housing scheme. So of what use is it? If there are people that needed to be taken care of, are they not supposed to be police and soldiers? And yet the Nigerian people will be fighting for them. The same soldiers, they will be obeying the last order and be dealing with the masses. Aggrieved soldiers affected by the Nigerian Army's controversial welfare housing scheme have lamented that the army is owing them uniform and boots allowances, and still wants to make deduction from their salary in the name of a housing scheme. The soldier, who spoke to the Sahara reporters on Saturday on the condition of anonymity, said the official statement of the Nigerian Army that the soldiers were duly consulted on the scheme was not true, as nobody sought their consent or opinions. You see, a whole institution, a whole government will come out and be lying. Is that not a act of irresponsibility? You don't take care of these people. Some of them, even at some point, sometime last month, one of them cried out and said they were not giving food. They were going with empty stomach. Even ordinary water they don't have, and they left them there. We learned that some of them were left in Sambisa. They were stranded in Sambisa. Up to today, we didn't hear anything again. The soldier also lamented that it was also a lie that the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Ibrahim Atahiru, made his scheme in the pipeline when he assumed office in January 2021, adding that the controversial housing scheme is his brainchild. Sahara reporters had on Friday reported that some of the aggrieved soldiers wrote a so letter to President Buhari over the Nigerian Army's planned deduction of their salaries to pay for the fraudulent Nigerian Army welfare housing scheme. The soldiers, one sergeant, two corporals, two lance corporals, and one private, in the letter obtained by Sahara reporters, had noted that the army planned to deduct between 15,000 and 49,000 naira monthly from their little salaries, which are not able to currently meet their needs. The personnel said the non-commissioned officers and the senior non-commissioned officers were the only ones affected, and they now find it difficult to feed their family and pay their children school fees from meager salaries. They demanded that the army authorities reconsider the deductions. In a reaction by the Nigeria Army Director of Public Relations, Brigadier General Mohammed Yerima, the army authorities had claimed that the soldiers were duly consulted. The current Chief of Army Staff met an army housing scheme in the pipeline and constituted a committee to understudy its visibility and desirability. The committee subsequently designed the questionnaire for soldiers to bear their minds on the scheme and ascertain those interested in it. It was still at this stage of administering the questionnaire to soldiers that agent provocateurs seized the moment to demonize the scheme with toxic narratives, the army spokesman had stated. But speaking with Sahara reporters, some of the soldiers countered the army's position that the housing scheme was an innovation to swindle the lower ranks of their meager salary. This is a welfare housing policy proposed by the Chief of Army Staff for the other rank cadre, which is to be compulsory, and monthly deductions will be made from every soldier's salary. No soldier was consulted on this. The officer cadre was exempted. Besides, most of us have houses of our own. Our scare skills allowance is 100,000 naira every month, but we are short paid, one of them said. There was no housing scheme in the pipeline that the new chief of army staff met when he assumed office. No soldier was consulted, and questionnaires were not shared to sensitize or sample the opinions of troops. Our salaries has not been increased. Still, we still buy uniforms and boots for ourselves. We live in a dilapidated buildings. We've not been paid a uniform allowance and boot allowance. You are deployed to a company. The company pays the sum of 150,000 naira, but the commanding officer will pay each soldier 30,000 naira. Another soldier said, where are they taking all this money to? You are cutting down people's sweats. You are being paid your own. Other people that needed to be paid, you still take their own. What are you doing with it? Greed, 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 every day, every time. These are the things that have been happening. It's been happening. It's not as if it's today. And unfortunately, it happens in almost every sector. Yes, it's happening. It happens in other sectors too. So it is a common knowledge that people are aware of. Like I said, all these army and soldiers, or soldiers and policemen, these are the things that the NSAS was talking about. But what did you do? You obeyed the last command. Then you continue to obey them now. Who is going to suffer it? You are not even allowed to speak about it, because they would see they will charge you for mutiny. Pension saving have stupidly been borrowed by the APC-led federal government. Soon, workers and retired alike won't be able to access their benefits. Nigeria is a joke. Federal governments have borrowed your pension. I just say make I tell you, soldiers that can plan coup or eliminate their superiors. Is that one a soldier? Useless soldiers, do the needful and take out your superiors and politicians. Your government prefers to pay bandits and insurgents. Let them go and collect it from Boko Haram government. Military are also Nigerian. They only follow the order given to them. Oh, I weep for this country. It is foolhardy to expect disgruntled soldiers who do not have the basics to keep the country safe from aggression. You lie, you must accept it. You don't have option. We protest about bad government to make life easy for you and I, but you cowardly shooting at us. Is your government. You have nothing to complain of, and that is it. That is it. Sorry, I feel your pain, bro. Not my pain, their pain rather. If you see me face to face, can you tell me what you just said? Mad people everywhere. Okay, Aboki, go get sense. So sorry, you don't read names before you rain insults. May God have mercy. Okay, where is ABA? Haba. The issue is that people talk for them. They spoke for them, but they say no, it's not true. And that is it. So how are we going to come out for this out of this whole thing? The civilians will complain. Everybody is complaining, but for people to come together and have a one voice, it is a problem. But one thing I believe is that the truth is always there, irrespective of who agrees with it or not. The truth will always be there. It will always be there. Those who reject the truth, they will still come back to that realization of what they are not doing rightly.